Interview for TVNB of entertainment icon Stompin Tom Connors on tour by host Carmen Kilburn, who is in his 7th year with community television. Connors is a Canadian legend, a singer, songwriter, and performer.
Well, we started out in Ontario, Carmen, and we made our way into Ottawa Valley first off, and we done a sort of a Molson's thing there where there was all kinds of young people, and a lot of people said, well, you're going to have to follow like about 6 rock bands and all this. And I said, I got no problem with that at all. There was guys like Sloan on there and, you know, some bands from the East Coast and stuff. And so I said, well, I got no problem. So we got up there and we done the show, and lo and behold, it was almost the same as it was here tonight. When you seen the end of the show there, here at the Aitken Centre, by the time the show was over, they were just mobbing the stage, and I don't know why, you know, 62-year-old fella, why would anybody want to mob the stage? And they're all, you know, from 18, 19, and right on up. So then we done about 7 jobs, I guess it was, in Ontario, and then we headed down east. And of course, once I get down here, yeah, I got to get into the lobsters, and I got to get into all that stuff. And it's fish every day, you know, and I love the stuff because in Ontario we can't get the fresh stuff and everything. And so down here, the crowds have been great. I mean, you know, we done a job in Sackville first, then we went to the island, and we got, like every show after Sackville was packed right out, and we came here tonight. Unfortunately, the students and stuff are not at the university, and so it's understandable in a town like Fredericton, but we had a hell of a crowd because the crowd that was there made up for the rest. You know, once you ask me one question, the answer leads into another and another and another, but it's just hellish good to be home.
Stompin Tom Connors tribute to the courage and dedication of Canada's Blue.
Yes, we are the Blue Berets. We're always proud to say.
You must have some magic in the sense that you can bring the people out and they clap and they love your songs. It's a combination, I think, of yourself, your performance, your songs. What do you think of that?
Well, let's put it this way. I never been scared to make a fool of myself. And, you know, if you're down to earth, I've always found that people like a guy that's sort of loose, and you sort of, I like to see my audience. Some entertainers, no reflection on anybody, but some entertainers don't like to see their audience. I like to see the audience. I like to see the faces, and once I play into that, and they play into us guys, all of a sudden there's a rapport goes on, and when that happens, then it just, the level just rises a little more as the show goes on. And so, oh, we have a hell of a time. I mean, it's fun.
And the girls are at the bingo, and the boys are getting stinko. We think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. The glasses, they will tinkle when our eyes begin to twinkle, and we think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. But there is Jim O'Connell there, and Scotty Jack McDonald. There's Hunky Frederick Herschel getting tight, but that's all right. There's Happy German Fritzy there with Finchie getting tipsy.
So a lot of those songs, Tom, like Bud to Spud and New Brunswick and Mary and so on, and one of them is the song about the insect that you sang, the bug song, I believe. That's the one that turned our kids on years ago.
Some people like it and some people don't, but then what can you do, eh? Mm-hmm. I got a hell of a lot of songs about a lot of things. And nobody ever wrote a song about insects before, so, you know, you have to write about everything. There's only so many subjects.
So you've been performing and writing your own songs for a long time, I believe, since you were 11, was it?
Yeah, I sang one here tonight, Reversing Falls Darlin', that I wrote when I was 11 years old. They announced it and the whole thing. And another thing I might add is that while that was going on, I also mentioned tonight, which you probably remember, about you know, getting this ring and the doctorate from. So I got it in the Aitken Centre. It was from St. Thomas University, and that was a big surprise to me. And who would ever think of giving Stompin Tom a doctorate of laws, no less, you know.
But you got the Order of Canada also?
I got the Order of Canada, yeah. Like things have been happening pretty mysteriously. I don't know what's going on, because all I ever wanted to do was just do my own thing. Mm-hmm. And as far as I'm concerned, I would like to see a lot of Canadian entertainers sort of stay in Canada. And I know that they're in a hurry to make a name for themselves, so they slip across the border and they do it there. And we have a hell of a pile of talent in this country. You know, population-wise, per capita, I mean, a lot of our entertainers have gone down the States and really done well. It's unfortunate in a way that they didn't, if they'd stay here sort of and fight the battle for the recognition that they deserve in Canada. And, you know, the wheel that squeaks the most gets the oil. And if they were to stay here and do that, I think we would put ourselves on the musical map of the world a lot better than we've had up until now.
Thank you so kindly. This here next song is about a guy that knows more about potatoes than anyone else in the world. It's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling on a highway smiling. The Spuds are big on a back of Bud's rig, the from Prince Edward Island, the from Prince Edward Island. From Charlottetown or from Summerside, they load him down for the big long ride. He jumps in the cab and he's off with the price of bagels. He's got to catch the boat to make Tormentine.
When you were a young person in St. John, New Brunswick, and again in Fredericton, did you ever dream that you'd be successful like you are today?
No, but I had hopes that I would one day make it. But I wasn't going to play the old game, as they say. You know, there's a certain thing that entertainers have to do sometimes to get where they want to go. I think maybe I took a little bit longer, but I look in the mirror in the morning and I'm proud to be who I am.
And you have it pretty well, make it Canadian, keep it Canadian, I think, in your letters. What do you think?
All the way through, all the way through. Oh, yeah. Because, you know, Canadians need more than just a Stompin' Tom. They need people who will write about their country and make people feel proud right across from coast to coast of being who they are. And we have to have a lot more songwriters writing about what they know about Canada instead of sort of slipping away to the States and writing about what's going on down there. God knows the Americans know their country better than Canadians do. So why do they need us down there writing songs about good old Memphis and Tennessee and Texas and all those places? I mean, write about our own country, and I think people will catch on eventually. That was my theory, and at least for myself it's worked. Right. And I think it would work for other people as well.
We get to see the maple trees, maple sugar and the maple leaves. We've got the biggest wheat fields going tall. At Niagara, the Horseshoe Falls. In Canada, we get to see them all. C-A-N-A-D-A.
It's sort of unfortunate Quebec incident is happening at this time. Do you think that we'll get over that and get back together again?
Well, there's kind of a joke about that, you know. Newfoundlanders said it's okay for Quebec to separate because they'll be about 10 hours closer to Ontario now. But that's just a joke, of course. But I had a saying here a while back when the separatist thing came out and all that, that I said, yeah, well, somebody asked me one time, well, what do we do about separatism in Canada and all this? I said, well, the best thing to do is we'll all join Quebec and separate together. Mm-hmm. And you know. First it takes a person aback a little bit, but when you really think it over, I hope that that's not the only way to keep them into Canada, because I mean the Quebec element is good for our country, always has been, and if you look down through your history pages and everything, we can't get along without them, and I hope that the separatists are not, you know, if they stop trying to convince their people that they can get along without us, because, you know, we're good people and we want them to know that, and so are they.
Can young people still make it in Canada as a career, singing?
Oh, I don't know. I think musicians, whoever you may be, they sort of pick up their own niche. You know, I don't think I would say to somebody, well, this is what you do. I think they have to go their own way. Well, people who want to make it, I guess it's keep your nose to the grindstone is number one, and do your own thing. Don't try to copy anybody, whatever you do. Just feel your music out for yourself, and do it your own damn way, you know. But keep at it, because if you follow trends and follow what's going on, what somebody else is doing, there's no point in trying to be a carbon copy, because people are always going to buy the real thing. They're not going to buy the carbon copy. So, you know, do your own thing. You'll get there as long as you keep at it.
When the big moon shines in the Maritime,